Sam Wilson as the new Captain America was okay. You guys, neither great nor bad, but just right. The MCU is just ramping up a little bit. Let's get into what's not that bad about Captain America: Brave New World. So I'm here a day after watching Captain America, and I was just thinking about like my whole experience going into the movie. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely lowered my expectations for this movie dramatically. With the string of Marvel content just being mediocre lately, with the exception of Guardians 3, Deadpool Wolverine, I've just been forced to lower my expectations back to when I first watched She-Hulk, essentially. Um, so last night I went at about last minute tickets after my daughter went to bed. I made my way to the theater, snuck in a snack, and prepared myself for a subpar movie. Now, I wasn't disappointed. I also didn't leave feeling I had been robbed of $11. Anyways, what's good about this movie? Well, everything. But that's all it is just good, not great. We have some good action scenes in the beginning. We see a good action side to Sam Wilson's fights, but they're just not as dynamic as I'd like. Just like Steve Rogers was a lot more dynamic, which is a great distinction because it does feel a little more human on our side, right? Like you can't expect Sam Wilson to be the super soldier when he's not. So I guess I felt that in a way with these fights. It was a little less ridiculous as to what Steve Rogers can do, which makes sense. And the movie did a great job of feeling more human and vulnerable, you know, because it felt more plain than anything Steve Rogers would do. This is like an upside to this movie, which I actually enjoy and I respect. Now, also, they had a good script. Not great. The dialogue was a little blander. It was a little less dramatic. They also had a good villain. Not great. Marvel ran out of major villains that were familiar, so they brought out Sidewinder, which, by the way, was played by the great Giancarlo Esposito. Very menacing. He did great in this movie. Not just good, but great. And he deserved more action. And also some other guy named the leader, a guy named Samuel Starnes. Great. It's great that Marvel did bring out just a different villain from their extensive catalog. They didn't reuse old villains, and we also get random cameos, which are good, not great. Again, that we expect. This includes Bucky for a scene, and also Betty Ross from the 2008 Incredible Hulk. And then we can also praise Harrison Ford here, okay, because he can still act well at 80. Now, what's something different that this movie actually did well to keep us intrigued? Well, they finally introduced adamantium, right? It's the stuff that Wolverine's claws are made out of. So we could definitely see more hope for Wolverine crossovers or, X-Men crossovers in the future. They're introducing more things. They're just getting started. We know that. And I also felt extremely bad for Isaiah Bradley's character. I think this is something that they did great in the movie, was expressing that this was not a great thing for Isaiah Bradley. Knowing his background and being kept in a prison and experimented on for decades, you felt bad for him. And you can actually kind of see that look in Isaiah's eyes when first of all, background, they do arrest Isaiah Bradley for a crime that he unknowingly committed. But that you can see it in his eyes that he's just sad about this whole situation, mad, confused, that, again, America has betrayed him. And that was just great acting from Carl Lumbly. I will tell you what's not good but great is seeing more of Falcon, Joaquin Torres, which is Danny Ramirez's character, and seeing his banter with Sam was so different from Steve and Sam, right? But that banter was funny. It was witty. You can kind of feel like kind of a great partnership there, because not only are Are they both human? But I felt like there was more of a connection there, because Steve and Sam did come from different worlds. Steve being, this old soul, literally, as well, 100-something years old at that time, and Sam being part of this new world. Yes, they got along great, but I can see more of a best friendship rather than like an apprenticeship in this. Generally, in this movie, you felt that this movie was a distinction from Steve Rogers' Captain America. This was Sam's Captain America, and partly also General Ross's story, and I thought it concluded well. This is kind of how I feel about this movie. It's good. It's good. It's not great. It's just par.